Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And I got a great question. This is kind of in the entrepreneurial vein, but I think that anybody could actually be interested in this. It is from Gods at Gaming. And he says that he's a software programmer and chemical engineer. That's an interesting combination. That's what he does in real life, and it's a very decent job, but he has an idea for a software product that could make him a multi-millionaire. You know, sounds like you're afflicted with ED, entrepreneurial disease. Warning signs are being overworked, and always having a positive attitude and outlook on ideas that they can come to fruition. There's some other symptomology as well, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. So anyway, he goes on to say that the technical details on the programming side are easy to implement, and that he's more than qualified to finish the project all by himself, which means that he could actually do it himself. And so that's not bad. A one-man show, that to me sounds pretty interesting. Okay, so the only problem is he doesn't have the time to do it, and he can't work another 8 or 9 hours a day, and it's just not going to happen. Let's see. He says that he's done research in this market, and the market seems healthy and overvalued, which makes it a great candidate for entry into the market. And and he's not sharing exactly what it is that he has in mind, for fear that I might take advantage of it. I can tell you that any great entrepreneur takes bits from here and here and here and puts them all together and makes a really killer product or service or whatnot, or they see somebody else doing a service that really is lacking in a certain area, that a lot of people want it to be better quality, and they bring up the quality level. And that most entrepreneurial ideas are not things that are brand new ideas. They are things that are they're ideas that people have thought of before, and that they're just able to make improvements on. And so with that said, so he says that he can't quit his job, and well, I guess that, let me come back around to that. So with that said, that I have many times seen ideas from other people, and I have improved on them and gone out and done them. And so, part of me selling game codes was really about figuring out that I saw this need in the market that wasn't being served well. There were a couple of other resellers doing this, but they weren't resellers. They were game publishers that were selling the codes. And there was nobody else offering any other payment methods or any other kind of customer service things. And the games that were selling it were crap at service. Really, really crappy at service. And so that's where I got the idea of, I can do this better. And so now, is that stealing an idea from someone else? No. That is reimagining it and making it my own vision and everything. And that's, so when you say that you're not telling me for fear that I could do it, that's smart. It really is. Because, it just is. That way nobody takes advantage of you. And that way I don't talk about it on camera. So, okay, back to the subject at hand, which is you talking about how much time you have. You see, you can't quit your job just to develop it. And it requires a long amount of time to invest to make it happen. So, you're asking me for advice. My advice is that you actually take on a partner, and that'll allow you a couple of things. One is that, or maybe you take on 3 partners, 2 or 3 partners, Now, the reason for that is a couple of things. One is it gives you some security. It lowers your risk. So if you take on, let's say that you say you don't have 8 or 9 hours a day to commit to this, to make it happen. Well, what if you brought in 4 partners and all of you committed 2 hours a day to work on this, and then maybe, that you would each, spend a Saturday or Sunday working on it as well. So you'd get another, 5 to 8 hours in on the weekend, each one of you. Could that be something that would give you the manpower to make it happen? And so these people that join with you on that, they become part of part of your master plan, and they benefit from it as well for doing a good job at putting this all together. And so what your role then becomes is the guidance, the leader, the one who brings these people together to put everything in place and to make it work right. And so that's what you would spend your time doing. And that is the role that I took after, when I built my last game code sales company. The role that I took was that I led a team of people into doing what was needed and wanted, because I couldn't do it all myself. And so another way to look at it is to maybe lower your responsibilities a little bit at your current job. When I decided that I was going to go, I had this cushy government job, and I decided that I was going to go full-time into selling virtual items. And so I, even though I was making 3 times as much money at my side stuff as what I was working at this cushy government job, my wife at the time was not comfortable with me going out and being unemployed again. She was worried that something would happen and the income could dry up. And I was primarily working in just one game, Ultima Online. And if they had made a policy change to say that I couldn't do that anymore, I'd have had to stop. And or I had to go underground. And that would have really seriously disrupted my income, and I had this great job. So what I did was I talked to them, and I said, I have this opportunity, and could I do a couple of things here? Could I work 4/10s? So that gave me 3 solid days a week to work on my other project. By the way, the plight of an entrepreneur is to be a workaholic. You have to work your ass off really hard to get to the point to where you can vacation a lot. So I made it to that point, and then everything came crashing down because I vacationed too much, let's say. I didn't pay enough attention to the company, and things really went to crap. And so I think that you could ask for 3 days a week. So if you do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that on your new project, and maybe if you say within a year time, working 8 hours a day, you could do it. Well, there is 3/8. So it takes you a year and a half if you're doing it all on your own. The other thing is that you could that if your company will allow you to reduce your hours and still keep your benefits and your position, so that you reduce to say 30 hours a week. And that's another thing that I ended up doing, was I reduced to 30 hours a week. I worked 3/10s, which gave me 4 days a week to work my other stuff. I did finally quit after it was just stupid for me to stay there because of how much money I was earning with my other stuff. But that is what how I handled it, and that's how I made more time. Now, if you're thinking that you as an entrepreneur are going to work just 8 or 9 hours a day and be successful with your project and everything, you're wrong. You're going to work a lot more than that. And you're going to be working 7 days a week. And it's going to be an enormous commitment on your part. And that, you know, what I've found is that a lot of things take a lot more time and commitment than what you originally envision. Now, one thing I have to suggest is the no-brainer tool. So I've talked about that before, and you know, no-brainer is let's see, I don't have it sitting here on my desk, otherwise I'd show it to you. But maybe you know, the tool is it allows you to see whether or not you are making good choices. Helps you to think outside the box. Helps you to identify issues beforehand, and it also helps you to identify where you're going to get the most bang for your buck with whatever your product is. So, or service, or whatever. It can actually be applied to a whole bunch of stuff, even quality control. It's really amazing. So, anyway, I think that those are your options, and you know, I have a belief for myself that it's all or nothing. And so that's the mode that I'm in right now with my game code sales and with my channel here. And so I decided that I was going to work this channel full-time, and I'm running the company full-time. What's really nice is that they kind of marriage together, that I can do both at the same time. I may have seemed a little distracted a few minutes ago, you know, clicking over here and looking. And you know why? It's because I was processing an order while I was talking right here. And I am able to multitask. It does degrade my, you know, performance here on video just a tad. But the fact is that the customer can't wait. The customer has to come before the videos. Now, you viewers, I consider you to be very important. But I've had to put it in that priority. You guys aren't handing me money. This customer over here that needed the order processed, they had already given money and had an expectation on that. So that's how the hierarchy works. And, you know, I redid things here also so that I could do both at the same time. And so I am talking to you from my computer. I got a webcam up here and everything. I am getting ready. I got my AverMedia card. This is going to do some wonderful things for me in respects to how good a quality of videos I can do and everything, because it's going to allow me to plug in my really big camera. At the end of this, I'll show you a link to a video where I talk about this and about how it's going to improve that. And I talk about that on my vlog. So anyway, it you know, it just all comes around to you have to give it 100% commitment. If you go into it half-assed, you're going to just get halfway there. You won't complete it. So I hope that helps. This is all speaking from experience, and it's what I believe, and it's how I do it. I'm not just talking out my ass about something that I think. This is how I actually do it. And so take that to heart. I hope that helps. And now check this out. So this is part of how I'm improving my game, part of how I'm improving my performance with my companies, with doing these videos, with, well, it doesn't have anything to do with the game code sales because there's nothing on here about game code sales. Maybe there should be. That makes me think. So, right up above is an interview that I did with Mandy. She is in EVE Online. She's in the Corporation Aftermath period and in the Alliance of Broken Toys. And she talks about why we should play EVE Online. And it's really, really good. In fact, after talking to her, I just thought to myself, I really want to go play EVE Online. But just like you talk, just like Gods at Gaming was talking about not having enough time in the day, I'm not sure I have enough time in the day to, oh, you see all that lightning over there? We'll come back to that. Just like that, I don't have enough time in the day to do everything I want to, so I'm having to pick my priorities. So, up over here, World of Tanks gameplay. I love World of Tanks, and I love killing in World of Tanks. I really do. So I got a whole bunch of gameplay videos. Click right up there, see that. Now, right over here, this is my vlog. And I decided that I was going to, start talking about some of the things that were more personal to me and everything, and do that on my vlog channel. And this was the other night when we had the most massive thunderstorm come overhead. There was so much thunder and lightning that I wondered whether or not it was dangerous for me to be out there. I don't know if being under the carport there was really dangerous. Oh, you see that? That's where lightning struck right over me, and it popped. We had another one too in the video that popped circuits in the house. That's how much electricity was in the air. So anyway, check those out. Any one of those. I'm Markee Dragon. Take care, everybody.